All right, here we go. Is a video about me culling my collection, and there's a few fragrances that I want to get rid of, and here it is. It's a bit of a 90s sort of feel with this fast-paced sort of action, but I'm going to go through all of these probably in parts, and you're going to see that. I got my coffee ready as well, so let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the culling video series, and this is the last part 5 of this series where I go through my collection. I've gone through I guess a fraction of my collection and picked out some fragrances that I think that I will move on. Either I'm going to sell these for much less than I bought them for, or I am going to give them away for free, or I'm just simply going to throw them in the bin because they're almost finished anyway, and I don't think anyone would want them. So here we go. Let's kick off with part 5 and see what's coming up. All right. Now we've got another Miyake. It is Bleue, Issey, fraiche. Lovely sort of minty, summery minty kind of fragrance. And it's very fresh, 75ml bottle. You can see how much I've actually used this. The presence and the longevity and the sillage is very low on this. And you can probably tell, and that's probably why I've used so much of it, because you have to spray this liberally, like quite liberally. It's a nice scent when you do get hints of it throughout the a hot day. I don't think I've worn it in winter at all. Yeah, not very often talked about, but it's a decent flanker nonetheless. Next is this one, just a random line by, just Original Penguin by Munsingwear. It's a nice sort of red apple and vanilla fragrance for the autumn. Again, I've given this quite a wearing, and it's quite a realistic sort of red apple, I have to say. They've done quite well with it, considering it's a cheapie. And you probably see a theme in all of these culling videos, is that a lot of these are cheapies that I bought just trying out random things. Back when I thought, you know what, quantity is better than anything else. But that's incorrect. Quantity is not. Quality is way better. But you need the quantity to understand quality. You need to sample a lot. You need the breadth. And here we go. This is Jacomo by Jacomo. 100ml bottle. This is formulation number 3, a modern formulation. It's not the original. I have smelled the original. It's slightly more smoother than this. But this kind of gives me like Amouage Interlude Man vibes. And for that reason, of course, I'm not going to vibe with this fragrance. Like I said, this reminded me of an uncle this uncle who used to be a chain smoker, so much so that part of his mustache where he kept his cigarette was blonde and the rest of it was black. I don't want to be that guy. And so this has got negative stigma attached to it for me, and I don't want to smell like that and be reminded of that. What's next? Hands. Here we go. This is, we saw CK Into You for her in the previous video. This is CK Into You for him, and thus completes the set. This is a 100ml bottle. I bought this because it was, really, really cheap. Like maybe $10 or something. And it's got cacao. It's got some lemon in here as well, I think. And it, you can smell it. It's just that, I did a very interesting video on this early on in my channel. I think one of the first videos that I put out. It's one of the strangest videos that I've ever made about a fragrance. And that's saying something, because my channel generally does some strange stuff sometimes. And I think it's time for this one to go. I think I said that this fragrance had a top note of anxiety, which is really weird. It kind of still does. All right, this one I picked up is a recent flanker because I'm going through Fahrenheit flankers. I don't know why. Never meant to. This is a summer flanker of Fahrenheit. I think from 2006 or 2004. I can't remember what year. It was decent, but really nothing much different from the original. I have an original formulation of Fahrenheit, which is good because it does the job of what Fahrenheit does, which is an enormous punch to the face of petrol and leather and violet, and it does that very well. This one does the same thing, but albeit a lighter version. Really slight hints of like citrus up the top, but it's nowhere near as good as the other flankers that I've got of Fahrenheit, like the Parfum or Aqua Fahrenheit, which I really actually am starting to like. And of course, Absolute, which is my favorite of the flankers. Here's the other one. Before we saw Ultra Red Man, I also picked up Ultra Violet Man. It's a tester. And yeah, and again, another cheapie, which I haven't used very much. And it's mostly because it's just, to me, this smells like super duper synthetic. Yeah, look, maybe 5 mil, maybe 10 mil I've used up, but not very much. It's got this sort of stapler gun sort of bottle. I thought it was quite gimmicky, quite nice. But yeah, not for me ultimately. Maybe someone else. Yeah, 2001 release, I think, this one. So, turn of the millennium. It would have been all right back then, but we've come a long way since then in terms of our tastes and fragrances. But the good stuff is timeless. Here's Comme des Garcons Copper, which I said was going to be my signature scent throughout the cold season this year. And you know what? I did wear it quite a bit. It did satisfy my itch to be niche. So my desire, and look, here I'm displaying the lack of thought in Comme des Garcons boxes, which allow this pebble-shaped bottle to just flop around inside the box like it's, like a damsel in distress. The bottle is really cool. I like the smell. It does smell like a copper pipe that's been mushed into dirt, but then it dries down to like a really nice calming amber and vanilla with hints of galbanum, which gives it its copperiness. But yeah, that one's got to go because, I don't think I'll wear it next year. China White by Nasomatto, another recent pickup. It's touted to, Gualtieri's quite a weird guy, and the perfumer, that is, of this house. And this one is supposed to smell like China White. And if you know what China White is, it's just another way of saying cocaine. And so it's got a distinct smell, for those of you who have not smelled it. And this one is a perfume version of that, but not entirely. It's not a hyper-realistic. It just gives you sort of hints of that particular smell. And it is actually a floral fragrance at heart, and a really good one at that. Very good longevity. Of course, this is a X-ray as well, and it's 30 ml bottle with its cap. I do like the Nasomatto bottles with their inordinately large caps. They do come with travel caps as well. But I don't understand why it needs to come with a travel cap, because the bottle itself is quite small. It's like this whole 30 ml bottle, half the size of a 100 ml bottle, of a normal 100 ml bottle. So, to make it smaller, there's really no point. So, yeah, being pedantic now. But I've actually already sold this one. Sold it this week, actually, and sent it on its way. I've only used maybe like 1 ml of it. So off it goes to someone who hopefully will appreciate it a little bit more than me. Nothing more to say about this one. Doesn't get that much talk because to a lot of people, this is just your strange floral fragrance. Back you go into your box. See? It's important. Presentation is important. Azzaro's Visit. Oh, yes. Again, another one of the fragrances that I did a review of very early on in my channel. You can watch it. It's a very strange one, again. And I said I love it and I hate it, and I love it and I hate it at the same time. Anique Minardo, my favorite perfumer of all time. And I finally figured out, after using this much of it, that not that I hate it, it's just not my thing. Like I said, nutmeg is just one of those things that I just can't vibe with. And now that I've gone head over heels into uber niche and very super high quality fragrances, the nutmeg in this, which I did like at some point, is no longer good enough. And there's me clicking my fingers and saying that this is the end of the video. This is the end of part 5. Very anticlimactic, but there you go. Something that I said that I thought that I loved and hated and loved and hated. I finally made up my mind that I got to get rid of it. And it's going to go. It has been discontinued, Azzaro's Visit. So, yeah, whoever picks this up will have a bargain on their hands. And thus concludes the culling series of videos. This was part 5 of 5. If you haven't watched the first 4 parts, please click on my channel and do so, and see all the fragrances that I'm getting rid of. Maybe you could think about what you have that you feel is not necessary. And like I said before in the video, that sometimes the more things we have, the more things have us. Or sometimes the more things we hold, the more things hold on to us. And in order to be truly free, you might want less things holding on to you. This is a little thought to end this whole thing, and some philosophies to live by. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.